Shock. Has burns with rage leaving Montecito as Meghan caught cheated on him to date George Clooney. George Clooney was left irritated after Meghan Markle gave birth to her first child Archie, unearthed accounts claim. The superstar last week turned 60, with celebrities and fans across the globe wishing the Hollywood legend happy birthday. He had previously described turning 60 as being better than dead and that he was not thrilled to be reaching such a milestone. Among the stars to send their best wishes was his former ER co-star Julianna Margulies, who teased George over his age as she is 7 years younger than him. And it's likely that their other friends would have also delivered a celebratory message to the actor and producer, including Harry and Meghan, who are considered close friends of George and his wife. But according to one source, George and Harry are not actually as close as Amal and Meghan, with the latter reportedly like a confidant to the Duchess of Sussex. Reports of how deep the relationship between the Clooney's and the Sussexes have raged over the years, particularly in the aftermath of Harry and Meghan's spectacular wedding in 2018. At the time, journalist Rachel Johnson quoted an insider as saying that the Clooney's remarked they don't know Harry and Meghan, when asked by a fellow guest of how they knew the happy couple. But the same year, a Kensington Palace insider claimed Amal and Meghan were much more friendly with each other and talk more regularly than George and Harry do, noting that the ladies had become really close friends. According to InStyle, the source added, "It helps they're both UK-based now, but they have been able to relate on a lot about their lifestyles, especially how to deal with being thrust into new situations in the public spotlight. Amal is like a confidant to Meghan." It would appear that the alleged remarks from the wedding may be off the mark, because in 2019 George was one of the first people to congratulate Harry and Meghan when their first child Archie was born. Archie, who was born on May 6, shares his birthday with George, and this sparked speculation that the film star could become the newborn's godfather. Reacting to the news, George joked on his 58th birthday that "it's a big day for me, and now some royal child has been born." He continued on Extra, "It's kind of irritating, if you think about it." In unearthed news, Meghan Markle is being sued by her sister for $75,000 over the false narrative she peddled of a rags to riches story during her bombshell chat with Oprah Winfrey. In an explosive court document, Samantha claims the Duchess of Sussex launched a premeditated campaign to destroy her and her father's reputation. She claims her sister tried to ruin their credibility so they could not interfere with or contradict the false narrative and fairy tale life story concocted by the defendant. She also alleges Meghan lied when she claimed she essentially raised herself from virtual poverty and from 13 had to take on low-paying jobs to make ends meet. Meanwhile, Samantha, 57, launched an astonishing broadside on her sister's friend and biographer Omid Scobie as she blasted Finding Freedom as a book of lies. The Sussexes' lawyer hit back at the lawsuit, claiming it was baseless and they would give it the minimum attention necessary. Scobie also dismissed the claims. Samantha paints a picture of the Duchess weaving a rags to riches story together while attacking her sister and father to maintain the narrative. She claims the defendant had fabricated details of her background to the royal family, the media and during TV interviews. She cites Meghan's appearances on Oprah and Ellen in the US as occasions where she falsely claimed she essentially raised herself from virtual poverty. Samantha says her sisters claim she was forced from the age of 13 to work in a series of low-paying jobs to make ends meet was untrue. She claims the Duchess, 40, never worked to pay for her Northwestern college education and argues the story of her climbing through an old car's trunk was a lie. The document also lists Meghan's claims she had no siblings, little contact with her family and that her family could only afford the $4.99 salad at Sizzlers as incorrect. Meanwhile, Samantha also hits out at Scobie and Carolyn Deron's book Finding Freedom, which she dubs her sister's fairy tale life story. She claims the book caused substantial and irreparable prejudice, injury, and harm to her reputation. Meanwhile, Samantha released a book about her sister last year titled The Diary of Princess Pushy's Sister, a Memoir, Part 1. It lays bare details of the Markles' upbringing, including the rivalry when their father was still married to the actress's mother Doria Ragland. But Samantha also writes of her adoration for Meghan as a baby and described the infant as biracial, beautiful, and was both the color of a peach and a rose.